Greetings and salutations, my beloved passionates, newcomers, visitors, and guests. Listen here. Right now, the intro's about to start. You got 60 seconds. Go and get you some wine, because you're probably going to get offended today. And that's okay. Passionates, let me tell you something. So what is this Passion PSA podcast? Who am I? Well, they call me Passion, short for passion, no last necessary. Why is there no last name necessary? Because the first name says it all. I am Passion and all that embodies. What do I do here? I give you the life coaching that you know you need, but don't enroll yourself in. When did I start? Actually, 2017. I'd leave a PSA on my Instagram regarding something I'd observed, and now we've evolved to this. Why do I do it? Why not? If even one person is able to take away one thing that changes their life, someone else's life, or changes the world for the better, then I've done what I was charged to do. So come on in, sit and listen for a while. There's something here for everyone at the Passion PSA. When I finally release this behind the scenes, oh man. What's up, Passionates? So instead of giving the regular intro today, not the intro that you just saw with the theme music, but the intro that comes after the theme, we're going to get straight into the episode by breaking the intro down. Why? I got some feedback recently about the podcast. Now, you know that I welcome shares, likes, comments. Feedback helps everyone grow, even when we don't like the feedback. Feedback also tells me a lot about the viewer or the listener. Feedback tells me whether or not you were listening to understand or listening to respond. Feedback tells me whether your attention was divided or undivided. Feedback tells me whether or not you're here to do the work, or if your ego is so big, you think the work needs to be done by everybody but you. I got some feedback that sounded like a holler. So today, I'm going to address the hit dogs, okay? Every episode, I start by telling y'all who I am and what I'm here to do. I'm passionate, no less necessary. I done seen some things. I done thought about some things, and I want to talk about them with y'all. I am not here to force my opinion or perspective on you. Rather, I've had enough conversations with people that have ended with,
I never thought about it like that.
Or,
I never considered it from that perspective.
As a result, I use my platform to publicly share other perspectives so that people who aren't aware that their thinking is kind of narrow-minded can broaden their scope. They can broaden their horizons and engage with others, possibly a little more compassionately, but at minimum, the engagement will be more effective. This is what I mean when I say the objective is to offer you a perspective you may not have previously considered to A, expand your thinking, and B, aid you in becoming a better version of yourself, for yourself, and for others. Every episode, I state that this is a safe space, but not necessarily a delicate one. What does that mean? Word on the street is that my mouth is reckless. The people who would literally kill for me and even die for me be like,
your mouth is crazy.
I've been hearing every variation and version of that since childhood, okay? I often laugh when I hear it, and not because it's necessarily untrue, but because everyone who has ever caught any kind of wreck from me, even in rage, I've carefully thought through what I was saying. If tact is an art, call me Michelangelo, okay? If diplomacy is a skill, call me Henry Kissinger. What am I saying? If you think what I'm saying or what I said is crazy, just know that it went through 5 to 10 filters before it got to you. And there's another or several other significantly crazier versions that I played in my head. I chose this one. Knowing that what I'm saying could make you feel a way, I'm never going to tell you, you took it wrong, you shouldn't feel that way, or you're blowing it out of proportion. If you've been here for previous episodes, then you know where I stand on raggedy apologies and refusal to take accountability for whatever you said being ill-received. The point is, I'll never rob you of your right to feel what you feel means you don't like it? Cool. You think I'm out of line? Okay. Get mad, be mad, stay mad. That's your right, as it is mine to say what I came to say, as it is my choice to deliver it as I deliver it. People say, you got to hide the medicine in the candy. Nobody wants to feel the treatment, but everybody wants to feel better while simultaneously wanting to be guiltless and blameless when causing others to need treatment and making them feel worse. Not on my watch. The goal is to get you to higher, more expanded thinking so you can operate as your highest and best self. The Passion PSA podcast is a self-help space. In the show intro, I say, what do I do here? I give you the life coaching that you know you need, but you don't enroll yourself in. Feedback tells me exactly which one of y'all ain't never sat down with a therapist, a counselor, a social worker, a life coach, a psychologist, psychiatrist, or any other professional in the mental health and emotion management space long enough to actually see or make progress. Work requires action. Self-correction requires self-reflection. You don't need to look at anyone else and tell them they need to watch an episode until and unless you have sat with yourself and asked yourself, has this ever been me? If I tell a story with 3 people, ask yourself, which one of these characters do I think I am? And is it possible that I'm any of these other characters? Why should you do that? Because a lot of us see ourselves as heroes in the stories of our lives. And if we heard the same story told by someone else who was there, not only would we not be a hero, some of us would be villains, and some of us wouldn't even be factors. We wouldn't be part of the story at all. Conversely, a lot of people feel very invisible in their own story. And if someone else told the story, they would not only be a main character, they'd be a shining star. Whether you're a villain or a victim, whether you're a main character or miscellaneous man with briefcase, whether you're the lead or the supporting actress, there is always work to be done, be it reparative, corrective, preemptive, or regular maintenance. In here, we do the work. It's just me and you here for a reason. If it's me and someone else sitting on the couch, then we're doing the work and you're getting to watch us work through our stuff. You don't get better by osmosis. Watching me get called out doesn't make you deal with your demons. Most times, it allows you to say,
I'm glad that's not me in the seat.
And while you're glad it's not you, 10 other people are sitting there wishing that it was. Is the work easy? Mm-mm. Way back in season 2, based on a listener letter, I did an episode called How to Mend. Take a look at this clip. Have you ever known someone, or have you yourself ever had an injury that required you to go to physical therapy? Because I know a few people who have, right? What they told me was that they cussed and they screamed and they cried because it was painful. They didn't enjoy going to appointments and they didn't look forward to appointments, but they went. And they didn't do the repair work because it was fun. They did the repair work because it was necessary. It was fix it or be plagued by it for the rest of your life. And a lot of people would much rather say they want to fix it because it sounds good, but they have no actual desire to do the work because it doesn't feel good. But the repair does. The repair feels great, but you have to want that. You have to be focused on what comes of the healing instead of the process. The work is uncomfortable a lot of the times. So what? Nowhere in nature is growth easy. So how do you figure you're supposed to be the exception?
Passion. Life is already stressful. I got people coming at me all day. When I turn on my TV or my laptop, I'm just trying to relax, veg out, laugh a little, and take my mind off things. I'm not trying to be scolded for a half hour.
And I get that. That's reasonable. But you do know that if you feel scolded, that you are the hit dog I heard hollering at the beginning of the episode, right? I have never watched someone talk about a thief and felt conviction. You know why? I don't steal. I've never heard someone talk about a philanderer and felt a wave of shame. You know why? I don't cheat. So if me looking at you through this monitor and telling you them raggedy, ashy apologies you've been given ain't making the grade and you feel attacked, that has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. And just past this imagined attack are two options. Option one is to disengage, turn the episode off, keep scrolling, leave an outraged comment, unfollow, talk about me to your equally damaged and unhealed friends who encourage and enable your behavior. Option two is to ask yourself why a comment made to a collective has incensed you, and then ask yourself what needs to change and how can it be done. Sidebar. The apology episode was not necessarily what inspired the feedback. I'm only using that as an example because that's the most recent in my mind. Like, I think we have close to 80 episodes or something like that. So it's just one that pops up because I know that that's also a trigger point for people because people are ashy in their behavior. Point is, if the change required is that someone else needs to do the work, you're still the problem. Real-time example. I get a call and the caller is telling me someone needs to respond to a location for whatever that's happening there. Caller is ranting. Caller is telling me todo lo que no es importante. Eso no importa. Caller stops ranting to yell,
Are you gonna send somebody?
I tell the caller, you haven't told me the location. Caller says,
Well, you should have asked me.
in the caller's mind, the required work was on me. The caller is still the problem. Why? The caller wants someone sent somewhere immediately, but doesn't think where they want someone sent should be disclosed without being asked. Stupidity at its finest and arrogance at its peak. Someone pointing out to you the error is yours and the work is your responsibility can be extremely offensive. And while it is offensive, it's not wrong. And when you start to do the work, you'll eventually get results. And what was previously offensive takes new shape. How many of you have heard something from your mother that made you utter and mutter some of the most hateful things under your breath? Like you hated that she said it. You hated how she said it. You hated that it was coming from her. Now, how many gonna be humble enough to say that some of those very things changed the entire trajectory of your life? Who's going to admit that some of those things, had you listened instead of cursing her and trying to teleport her to the bowels of hell, if you would have heeded it then, you could have spared yourself years of stress, of pain? Who's willing to admit that some of those things that you didn't want to hear then, you ended up having to hear it later from someone else? Her tone and delivery was the problem, right? But was she wrong? I'm not here to lecture you. I got other things to do. But I'm here on this planet like you are, and I'm trying to make it better for you to deal with me and better for me to deal with you. One-on-one is very intimate, and part of that is by design, and part of that is not. You just got here? You don't know. I did the partnered pod. The partner started it, came up with the concept, chose the guests, and jumped ship. The people I know, they want to talk to me in private. They don't want to talk to me in front of y'all. So you looking for me to host this podcast with someone else? It's not happening. Is a two-person or a panel dynamic more entertaining? Almost always. But that's part of the problem. Everybody's looking to be entertained. And there's a time and place for everything. Everything is not supposed to be entertaining. Some things are solely supposed to be enlightening. Some things are solely supposed to be uplifting. Some things are solely supposed to be empowering. This here is supposed to be therapeutic. Do we know what therapeutic means? It means having to do with treating disease and helping healing take place. You thought it meant soothing and relaxing, right? This is why we do the work the way we do the work. Walk away mad if you want, but be mad and educated. Be mad and informed. Be mad and know what you're talking about. Be mad and able to not just adequately, but accurately articulate your thoughts and feelings. The definition of therapy: the treatment of mental conditions by verbal communication and interaction. Therapy comes from Greek for healing. Let's look at what the Googles have to say about coaching. Coaching is a form of development in which an experienced person, called a coach, supports a learner or client in achieving a specific personal or professional goal by providing training and guidance. The act of giving special classes in sports, a school subject, or a work-related activity. Coaching is a method of achieving set goals. What else do we have here? Put simply, coaching is a process that aims to improve performance and focuses on the here and now rather than on the distant past or future. Coaching deals with the client's mental growth. A coach is someone whose job it is to teach people to improve at a sport, skill, or school subject. It refers to a method of training, counseling, or instructing an individual or group how to develop skills to enhance their productivity. Y'all see that? So when you come into a space where it is stated at the beginning that you are being offered the life coaching you need but haven't signed up for, know that this is what you're going to get. It may be entertaining at times, but the priority isn't your entertainment. It's your betterment. Will we laugh? Sometimes. Will there be a funny story? A lot of times. Are you exempt from getting your feelings hurt? Nope. Am I going out of my way to hurt your feelings? Nope. That's part of the reason we start with affirmations. I know that I might ruffle your feathers. After the season finale of season 1, my bro ran up on me and
So when I first started watching, I was like, yo, who the hell is she talking to?
my sis shows up to the premieres and she says,
Sis, please, I just grew these edges back, and here you come trying to snatch them all out again.
is it possible you're going to feel like I dragged you down 5 flights of stairs by a ponytail that's this long? Yup. Is it possible you're going to feel like I Sparta kicked you off the roof of the Empire State Building? Sure is. Is the goal to condemn, vilify, and demonize you? Not at all. But weeds grow in the most beautiful gardens. They strangle the roots of beautiful, healthy plants and take over. If you don't kill a weed at the root, it keeps coming back and often stronger and more problematic. I don't want to kill your spirit, but we got to get to the root of the weeds. And if that's too much, stay toxic, friend. But as for me and the rest of the passionates, we're going to do this work. We're going to do it one-on-one. We're going to grow and heal, and you will get left behind. That's what happens when people outgrow certain behaviors. They tend to distance themselves from the people who still behave in those ways. No one's trying to abandon you. But I have way too much to do to sit and cuddle you. I literally have middle schoolers and toddlers watching. They don't always understand everything I'm saying, but they come back weekly to get a little more. So if your inner child is upset by what I'm saying, you don't want to be here, but you need to be. And you are always welcome. We didn't start with affirmations today. Do you notice the difference? Yeah. Listener letters can be sent to greetings@whatonewomandoes.com. Make your donations using the PayPal Linktree or Zelle links. They're in the description box, and I'll also pin them in the comments. Feedback is welcome. Response is imminent. Leave a comment anyway. Go forth. Be great. Be filled with bliss. Be armed and empowered with knowledge. Do the work. It pays in dividends. In all things, be passionate. See you later.